Hi, y'all. It's your girl, Age, and I am here to talk about episode 9 of Love in the Air. And this episode today is called Could You Be the Wind That Passes By? Let's get into it. At the beginning of this episode, we meet Prai and his little badass, spoiled-ass siblings in the living room of their big home. This is the first time we are meeting the little sister. We already met Plurn. I still don't know how to say that boy's name. And now the little sister's name is Prawn. So initially they're talking to Prai, and then once he leaves, they make a joke like it's clear who he took after. Because Prai was the one that raised them. And you know, sometimes it be like that whenever you're the older sibling. Your younger siblings take after your bad behavior. Or good. A lot of times bad. I am, however, really happy to see that they do have a great relationship as siblings. That's always amazing to see whenever there's like a good family unit, a good family bond that people have. It's just refreshing because in a lot of shows, that's not the case. Then we see Sky, and he's in his dorm with an empty fridge and trust. As a broke college kids, we've all been there before. Not saying Sky is broke, but I mean, maybe, I don't know his financial situations. Hell, he's not as rich as Prai. Anyway, so he decides that he's going to go downstairs in his dorm lobby to buy some stuff to eat, only for him to run into Prai. When I tell y'all, this man will not quit. He is on Sky like white on rice. When Sky sees Prai, of course he's just done. And he also tells Prai that, you know, if you want your flowers back, I already threw them away. But somehow, Messy Joy ended up with the flowers on her desk. So she might have took the flowers out the trash can. I don't know what she did, but she has them now. Prai told Sky that he wanted to get to know Sky a little bit better today, and that's why he came all the way down there to his dorm. Then Prai mentioned something about, I don't even know the color of your eyes. And Sky's like, are you colorblind? Clearly you can see what color my eyes are. Then Prai says something like, I'm not colorblind, but love makes me blind. That statement right there sends Sky into a trance. We can see that right here. So what is this? Is this like a place that Sky goes to in his mind for what exactly? It is giving trauma. So we are going to explore that a little bit later in the episode. Sky looks very zoned out, and he almost looks like he's about to cry in this trauma zone, I'll call it. The color red is also like very intense. And also, if you notice, Sky in his little trauma zone is naked. He seems like he's exposed, and he's very unhappy, very uncomfortable here. Then there's also the words, I love you, Sky. That there's somebody's telling Sky that they love him. Who is that? Prai snaps him out of it and noticed something was off, and he even asked Sky, he's like, are you all right? Sky just kind of brushes him off and things like that. So after a few more insults or observations, Prai finally is allowed to take Sky to get something to eat because Sky told him, like, you know, I was hungry. I'm going to get some food. Leave me alone. And you know, Prai isn't about to leave him alone. So when they're eating, Prai is giving Sky all kinds of compliments. Even though Sky is in his like bedclothes, he's in flip-flops, he got like messy hair, he isn't done up. But, you know, he's showering him with all kinds of compliments. Oh, you're so pretty, this and other. Then Prai mentions that he has never been on a date with someone who was so down to earth as Sky. And of course, because imagine the people that someone rich and handsome like Prai hangs out with on a daily basis. People around him are probably just out to get things that he got, probably want him for his money. I mean, his looks too, but you know, he's a sexy rich boy. They're probably like fake and only looking out for what they could get from Prai. And in the meantime, all we know that Sky wants from Prai is to be left alone. Sky seriously does not want anything to do with Prai. And Prai has probably never had that happen to him a day in his life. Then while they're eating, Prai also asks Sky about his piercings. When he remembered them the last time they were having sex, that very first time. How he remember Sky's nipple piercings from 3 months ago? That, my friend, is attention to detail. But of course, Sky refuses to talk to him. And Prai said, you know, if you're not going to talk to me, I'm just going to talk to myself. And so he does. Meanwhile, Sky finishes his food, he pays, and he leaves. And Prai, of course, follows him out of the restaurant. Sky is like, look, if you want a friend with benefits, I don't. So look somewhere else. Do not get involved with me. Sky, y'all, if you like, you know how you just don't want to be bothered with somebody. Prai is not taking the hint, but Sky, like, clearly, he doesn't want you, Prai. Leave him alone. Leave Sky alone. And pause for the cause. Did I mention how very pretty Sky's eyes are? They're like such a pretty shade of brown. Anyway, Prai is like, I don't want to be friends with benefits. I'm serious. And Sky, much like myself, is like, no, you're not. Somebody like you can't be. This is a very, very understandable statement. And it's understandable why Sky thinks like that. Just look how Prai behaves. He's even being like spoiled and bratty and entitled in this moment when the boy is clearly telling him, like, I don't want to be bothered. Please leave me alone. He's not respecting his boundaries. Next scene. When Sky is in class doing a project, Rain comes up to him mad because Rain is like, I didn't know that you like guys. And to be honest, I can tell Sky liked men before I could tell Rain did. But Rain also told Sky that if Sky would have told Rain that he liked men, then that would have made it easier for Rain to tell Sky about Payu. He was also scared Sky would shun him for liking men. Then they get on the topic of Prai, and Rain is saying such nice things about him. And I'm thinking Prai also paid Rain to say a bunch of nice things about him to Rain, because he knows, like, that's his friend. Then Rain brings up Sky's ex, and Sky flips out. He's like, don't you ever speak of my ex. Trauma. When Sky gets home, Prai left some food on Sky's door, which he throws away. And another interesting quote comes from Sky. Sky says, I will never like your boyfriend's friend. Like, this is him in his head talking to Rain. I will never like anyone. And this is definitely some trauma behind this. This is definitely some, like, mental health things that's going on, especially coupled with the boyfriend explosion at school. Something's going on with this ex. Then we have an unsettling little flashback. What I call it, the trauma zone. We're back in the red. Sky is on the bed with his hands, no, not his hands. These are random people's hands touching all over him. And Sky is crying. The hands are touching on his naked body while he's laying in a bed and, like, pushing the hands away. I don't know if he's, like, getting molested or, like, something is going on. And Sky then wakes up and he's back into reality and he's like, no, clearly, like, fighting off the hands that was in his mind. And then he's, like, in bed trying to calm himself down, and just all the little noises around him are starting to, like, frighten him. So yeah, what these trauma zone flashes are giving me is that, yeah, he was either touched or raped. Something happened in Sky's life that makes him have these flashes and fears, and also makes him not like relationships. I guess we'll find out later on about that. Shoot, I know one thing I'm mad about, though. I'm mad that Sky threw away that good food. He could have ate it, and then he could have told Prai that he threw it away, and Prai would have been none the wiser. That's just me. I don't waste food. So Sky can't sleep, so he decides to work. So I believe Sky is trying to forget someone who is not Prai. And then ironically enough, Prai is also trying to figure out too, because he remembered the expression on Sky's face that he made when he went into his trauma zone the first time, when he went into that red space. It concerned Prai just like it concerned me. So we gotta figure out, like, what happened to Sky? Prai shows up to Sky's place and he bought a gift before he leaves to go on his trip for a week. And when Sky went to school, his friends said that, Sky didn't look too well. Let me tell y'all, it's two things. Sky is overworking himself, and he is also not getting proper sleep because of his nightmares and his trauma zone spirals. And while Sky is working, he's telling himself to listen to his mind and don't listen to his heart. Sometimes that could be really hard, Sky. And the heart, your emotions, The heart wants what it wants. And sometimes the mind, the logic part, it can't stop it. It can't stop your heart. Some things we do and want just don't make sense. Also, is his heart telling him to go with Prai? Even at his apartment when all of his friends are sleeping over there, Sky worked all throughout the night and he did not sleep. We can all figure these trauma zone episodes are a reason he isn't sleeping, and also the fact that he is so busy with all the things in school. And this is definitely a recipe for getting sick. So, Sig and Sky, they get to school only to get yelled at about some freshman bullshit that Som was complaining about. And Sig told Sky, don't take it personal. Som is just mad that Rain is dating Payu. That's Som's little crush. And he is taking it out on Sky because Sky is Rain's best friend. Let me tell y'all, I'm always going to bring up the fact that Som and Plee are just jealous. Payu wasn't y'all's to take. Why are y'all mad? Anyway, so Sig goes like a good friend and bothers Som some more. But Sky, when he's left by himself, he had to even admit to himself, I'm exhausted. In the next scene, Sky is having another nightmare, y'all, and I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for him. And he breaks down because someone keeps texting him. Y'all, I've been like this before. Stressed out, beyond my limits, to where I had to turn off all my devices except my TV. Now, granted, I didn't have any sexual assault trauma attached to it, but if you get super stressed like that, you really need to stop and just take a break. Unless life will make you stop and life will make you take a break. Just keep that in mind. Here, the guys are listening to Rain as he explains that Som looks at him like Rain killed Som's father. Their friends are like, it's just because you're dating Payu. And they're like, think of all the people in this school who are jealous of you. To be honest, I bet Rain gets the nastiest stares because people are really jealous about that stuff. I think it's crazy. Like, if someone's in a relationship, I wouldn't be jealous or nothing like that. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, hell, they liked each other or you got to them first. I wouldn't be sitting there giving their boyfriend, girlfriend nasty looks or nothing like that. But to each his own. I cannot believe how just mean people are being just because they're jealous. Anyway, like it or not, the it boy, Payu, did not choose you. He chose Rain, so get over it. Anyway, Sky walks into the room looking like he is about to die. His friends immediately notice, like good friends that they are. And then Sky, he passes out. I have passed out from exhaustion before too. I know exactly how Sky feels in that moment because life has had to make me take a break a few times. Because I have not only passed out once, I've passed out maybe 3-4 times in life. Could have been more, I don't know. But all that to say, please take care of yourselves. If you are someone like this, I'm sure it's not good for the brain and it's definitely not good for the body. Then Rain. Y'all, I told y'all I wouldn't want a friend like Rain. Rain answers Sky's phone and tells Prai Sky is in the hospital. Clearly, Sky told Rain, I don't want anything to do with Prai. Please just keep that man out of my life. And Rain does not care. I mean, I understand that it works good in the end and probably well for the show. But if you were my friend, please respect my wishes. So Prai ends up rushing over there to Sky and Rain. And Rain, he asks Prai to take care of Sky because Rain has to do some school projects. And Sky's parents aren't answering. I'm like, so y'all friends are too busy too. What about Sig? What about somebody from the department? Sky refused to stay in the hospital and he needs an IV or something like that. And it's bad when Prai has to promise not to do anything to Sky before Rain would give him the key. That should tell Rain. That should be a red flag right there for Rain. And of course, in the end, we know that Prai, hopefully, isn't going to do anything to Sky. But still, I would not just hand my friend over. Rain, what are you doing? But, I will admit, after all of my complaining about Rain's behavior and Prai's, I will admit that Prai does an amazing job at taking care of Sky. And this scene of him, doing his laundry, make sure he gets his IV and is fed in bed properly, wipes down his body. This is showing me that Prai does really care about Sky, and Prai might actually be willing to stop his player ways for Sky. I know. Then there's a moment where Sky grabs Prai's arm and Prai's about to get up and start doing stuff. And he's begging Prai not to go. Clearly, Sky is delusional in this moment because the conscious Sky would never, especially not to Prai. Hell, he's delusional. He even calls Prai dad. Not to be confused with daddy. Those are two totally different words and concepts. So Prai, he takes care of Sky. And y'all, Prai, he is so cute. He just has on his t-shirt and is just laid back. I don't think I've ever seen Prai in this show just in regular clothes yet. So this is the first time we have him here. Usually he's in his racing gear or he's in like a suit or a button down. That is the end of this video and as much dragging that I've done to Rain. I'm happy that he did step up whenever Sky needed him. And even though he just handed his unconscious friend over to Prai did a good job too taking care of him. And he kept his promise and he did not do anything to Sky.